I can't thank Aaron enough for that intro, man. I love it. It makes me hungry, but I love that. Oh man, my camera's already messing up early. It's fine. I'll let Caesar take over for a minute. But before I get him on, guys, thank you very much for tuning in another episode with the Comic Menu, which your co-host Dell and my co-host Caesar.
Oh, hello there. I didn't see you. How
Dude,
you guys doing?
don't pull one of those. What's it called? The friendly neighborhood? No, 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 no. Uh,
But you're the worst, man.
I'm the
You're
worst,
the
bro.
absolute worst.
I can see him. I can see Tom Hanks playing him. I
Mr.
can't even.
Rogers.
Mr.
Mr. Rogers.
Rogers, there we go. I didn't see you there. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Anyways, with
Yeah.
that being said, today it's gonna be another cool, chill episode. We have some couple of topics we want to talk about.
hmm
Obviously, we are gonna touch up on the CGC situation with the reholdering. Um, it's been talked about a lot. We haven't talked about it. We just wanted to, get an update because CGC just came out recently with some information. We're gonna talk about that.
hmm
Um, the situation with Spawn, the giveaway with McFarlane. We are going to talk about Echo a little bit. We want to talk about What If, but we both haven't seen all episodes. But we can, everybody in the comment section, we're more than down. There's some updates we want to talk about as well, and we got two great guys in the back. They're gonna, we're gonna talk about them, what they do. As always, it's just gonna be a regular show with a couple of comic dudes. Um, so you have any questions about anything? If we can talk about it on the show. What do you want?
Yep.
Even wanting to talk to somebody with it, just shout it out. Me and Caesar don't know nothing, but we will try our best.
All right.
What's up, Comic Uprising? What's up, DJ? How you doing, brother? Oh, with that being said, we are gonna start off with Matt first. Hey, what's up, Matt?
What up? What up? What up? What's going on, everybody?
This guy.
This guy. So, real quick before I introduce our next guy, do a little brief introduction of where they can reach you, et cetera, et cetera. What's your OnlyFans page, all that information, all the good
Yep.
stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I go by Matt. My Instagram handle is Revenge of the Nerd Official. I'm on YouTube. I'm a content creator. I've been in the comic space since 2000. Started right before the pandemic. Just a couple months ago, I decided that I would go ahead and kind of do comics full time and um, jump into the influencer space. So I just really I'm a videographer by trade, so I do a lot of video production on the side. Um, so I figured I'd marry the two, me and comics and my passion and my passion for visuals and video production, and started a YouTube channel. Baby channel, micro following, but a lot of support from a lot of good friends in the community,
hmm
and a lot of good cosigns from the community. So really happy to be there. So thanks for having me.
All
Of
right.
course, you've fucking been real good in your videos. I know you haven't had as many views, but your shit is top tier.
It's good
I got
stuff.
like
Thank
way,
you.
way better than mine and Caesar's, that's for sure.
hmm
Thanks. I'd love to, get a chance to help everybody with a glow up, That's one of the things that I think that we as a community, in the comic fandom are missing is, really good video production in our content. I think that we can have content that kind of like rivals, bigger named influencers and YouTubers that are out there. So, always happy to help. If anybody ever needs advice, they can always reach me at um, on Instagram or on my Facebook, Matthew Lucas. I'm in a lot of the Facebook groups. You can always hit me up on YouTube as well at Revenge of the Nerd. So yeah,
Cool.
With that being said, absolutely share it out. Thank you, Jonathan. Appreciate you. We are going to use our second guest, David from Adam Collections. I thought it was collectibles for some reason for the longest time, and now I see collections.
Yeah, I tricked it.
Fuck me over. So as always, David, let them know who you are, where you come from. He's from my neck of the woods, by the way. So it's
Local.
somebody local. And then Matt's over here in Texas too. I don't know what he's doing over here, but David, go ahead and do your little intro, buddy.
All right, cool. So appreciate it, guys. So again, my name is David. I'm part of Adam Collections here. Just so that for you guys, I'm gonna drop the little link tree here into the comments. Basically, Instagram, Facebook, whatnot. Pretty much deal with exclusive Funkos, signature Funkos right now. Working off online, developing a website. I'm trying to do the back end of it. I'm trying to connect market values to the listing so they can automatically update. But there's a lot of back end of that I really don't know a lot about, but I'm doing a lot of learning. I've been collecting pops for about 5 years. Had another business with some partners. Just like every good partnership, there's a dilution, dissolve, whatever you want to call it. Different agreements and stuff. So started my own thing with Adam Collection. Started on November 18th officially. Been up and rolling for 2 months. Pretty good. Sell a lot on Whatnot right now. Comic book wise, I'll be honest with you guys. Besides the Last Ronin and maybe like Ultimate Spider-Man that just came out, I casually read. I just yeah, man. 100%, bro.
Honestly, what really don't?
mean,
This is the guy you brought on, huh?
Hold on, David. Wait, David.
Go.
Caesar, you better fucking get yourself straight because he hasn't read any of those books he has behind him. Because he's known through the community as a non-reader, just a collector.
This is a stupid conversation. Okay, let's talk about CGC.
See what I mean? Like he's nobody to fucking be criticizing anybody.
I'm the last guy to criticize about any fucking thing. I mean, get out of
I feel like that's a good point though. Like, yo, has anybody tried? Like, I have a hard time reading a lot of the older stuff. I'm doing an X-Men run right now, an Uncanny Man X-Men run, and I know everyone really praises Chris Claremont. But like, some of that stuff is a difficult read. Like, it's kind of like draggy. I'm like, and maybe it's because I'm like a millennial and like I have a short attention span and, maybe I have ADHD too. But like, I'm like, it's really hard to get through some of these books. It's like a chore, especially the early Silver Age X-Men books. Those are like, ugh.
It's a different time. We're talking 1960s, early 70s to modern talk. What was back then, you read it going, wow, for the time. That's the whole point, right?
Exactly.
It's for the time. But it's not like you're reading Pride and Prejudice, where some of those books are timeless, or
Hey, some of those timeless books are already banned. So
Dr. Zhivago, where people are like, it's a classic. I don't know if that really does relate to a lot of the old comic book stories. So it is different. That's why I don't read. Yeah, for that particular reason.
That's the reason.
That's the reason, David. I don't read because I don't want to.
There's good books out there today, though. Like, there's good writers. Like, I have and I know they write differently now, right? They write for a shorter attention span. But like if you check out Daredevil, who's writing Daredevil right now? Chip Zdarsky. If you check out his Daredevil run, like I absolutely love that. That's like one of my favorite reads right now. Like his Daredevil Woman Affair, Daredevil Man. Like I've loved it all.
So was it not? I want to say the second to last show we had last year, we had Toro and Ish, right? And they were giving us these like, oh, this writer's doing this writer's doing that. I'm like, damn, I'm getting educated on the show right now. All right,
they were throwing out writers and names, and my eyes just glossed over. I mean, they just like, I don't know. It's like I had the old black and white Mickey Mouse like tooting in his head. I couldn't because I can't relate, and I wish I could read. I feel like an after school special. But I wish I could read, but I don't. I don't. The last thing I read was a TV Guide in 1987, and that's I just don't read. I just don't.
Wait, didn't you pull out a book about all the history about the comics not too long ago?
No, that was on our last show.
No, not there. It was a Wizard book.
Oh, Wizard, yeah. You know what? I did do that. I think this is what we're gonna do, people. Next week, I don't know who we have on yet. It's still tentative unless they all.
Honestly, I have some people in mind, but we'll figure it out.
Next week, we're probably going to have one of these conversations, unless we have an artist who wants to come in and do some drawing and bullshit. I'm going to pull out the oldest Wizard that I have. And we're going to go through the very back.
You can't read.
We're going to go through the very back of the Wizard and look at the price guide and see how much the key books that everyone's paying X amount of money for now, how much they were in 1988, right? How much they were in 1992. It's a fun read because it also makes you think some of these prices you go, well, actually, it's not that bad because since the dip, I look at the books now that I've spent and I'm going, oh God, I spent $1,800 on what? And you could get
everything is like flatlining.
You could get the same book for $500. You're like, oh. But once again, we didn't know. As if we all said collectively, hey, I'm not going to buy that book right now. I'm going to wait for the market to crash and get it for $500.
Who didn't see
Yeah.
it coming?
So, in talking about the market, right? For the past few years. Hey, what's up, Mark? Is another local podcaster here in the Valley. What's up, brother? Um, we talked about it in the back of the show, and I want to get this out of the way. So recently, Matt, I don't know how informative informed you are about the situation, and then David, obviously, he doesn't fuck with comics as much, so so David's gonna be wrong with a ride.
Bro,
Um,
got this, bro.
so CGC had a situation where a collector was resubmitting. So he'll buy a 9.8 Spider-Man or 300, right? Right, first met him, and then he will resubmit it to get reholdered, but he's sending in like a 7.5. So they're
Talking
not
about
checking.
Slapgate.
Yes,
Right, yeah.
exactly. So
Slapgate.
so that's what's going on recently, right? And obviously, a lot of people know what happened, so we don't want to beat a dead horse with that. The only thing we want to bring up is that recently CGC, had a response. I think it was the president came on a podcast 2 days ago, and he said they're going to do 9.9 pre-screenings. So, what are your thoughts on that stuff? Like, why would 9.9 was supposed to be, oh shit, they barely make it, but now they're gonna like it's to be more available, right? So I guess the next thing to hit is like 10, but now it don't make sense sometimes. Like, why would you do that? And then with that being said, he also said that it's only 350 of the books, and there was only one person. Everybody didn't believe that shit. You know what I mean? I think they're trying to do crowd control on that situation because a
Crisis
lot of people,
control, yeah. The
yeah,
damage
yeah.
control.
And the question they asked was, "Do you think there was somebody in CGC that helped them out?" Okay, what are your thoughts, guys? Before I answer this, you two, do you think I'll ask David first because and then I know Matt's probably gonna go more into the information. Do you think it was more than one person in the situation? Do you think there was an inside man? Because it wasn't just like one or two books; it was over 350 that they've found so far, right? So, David, what are your thoughts on that?
What's it called? I know that when on my last podcast we talked about, supposedly the last article that I had read, and the same thing with Luis, local comic shop manager I had on, was 5% of all the ASM 300s were considered fraud or whatever it might have been.
That's big.
But
That's a lot.
big. I mean, there's millions of fucking copies out there. But from my point of view, obviously being a reseller and stuff, it does affect the market. Because my curious question was, how many of those have been through raffle pages? I know we talked about that a little bit earlier, right? So how many are not authentic and so forth? But to have help with CGC, I mean, grades have always been subjective. What I consider a 9.8, 9.6, someone else might consider 9.4. So the training that they have might not be accumulated. And plus, just like everything else, if you're paying them an hourly wage, you're gonna get the hourly results, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think they may have had somebody on the inside. I do think they may have had some test runs before and figured out the formula to perfect it. And then, I mean, as bad as it is for the community, I have to respect the hustle, man, because they fooled the shit out of a lot of motherfuckers.
Yeah, bro.
Like, I want to know how many I flipped. I'm gonna be completely honest. Like, I fear that one of those numbers is gonna tie back to me. And obviously, I didn't fucking say, CGC, did you fucking flip this shit? Like, I didn't know that, right? But that was the last article I read when it came to that CGC gate, that about 5% of all the ASM, and then there was some other spec ones. I think it was like the Black Cat and some other ones that were on that list
Oh
too.
yeah, 181 too was on there.
Yeah, exactly. So, but that's just kind of what I kind of experienced and what I read up on that subject. But to have someone in CGC, I wouldn't say no. I would just say it would be far fetched. But kind of like we talked about before, now with this going on with CGC, I've always been a CGC fan just because that's what I was introduced to. Does this elevate the CBCS? Like, do you look at them differently now compared to CGC? Because Stetson behind on his wall has all CGC slabs, right? But like, does this increase the value, decrease the value?
Are we forgetting that not too long ago CBCS got busted for sending books home with employees so they can grade books at home? And
that was over a year ago.
That was over a year ago. And
then like that was so long. It's just a year.
Because within a year you also had
it's
CGC.
Old news now.
No, remember we still had Staplegate. Remember we also had
Staplegate for CGC. We also had the CBCS losing books, in their warehouse. it to me, I don't give a shit because the whole 9.9 thing, you're gonna that book. Listen, guys, for a book to get a 9.9,
over 350,
it's gotta be like pristine. Perfect. We're talking right off the printing press into like someone's hands, into a Mylar, into a fucking closet.
Yeah, but that happens. You know what I mean? Like we see books that come into the wild, right? And they are pristine and they do go up. I've looked at 9.8 books where I could find nothing wrong with them.
Modern.
Like I'm not saying I see them every 9.8, right? But I've definitely seen 9.8 books, and I said, well, why didn't this get a 9.8, a 9.9? You know, I just think that sometimes the transparency about what the grading criteria is and what it was, you know, the absence of graders notes, you know, the absence of being able to identify exactly what, you know, what weight we're giving certain defects over others. I think that those things, that lack of transparency creates room for someone to just say, hey, let's use this as a gimmick, right? So I think the 9.9 thing legitimately is just a ploy to try to spin up a gimmick, and it's dangerous because what it does is it creates an air where now you can potentially sell off this idea that, hey, there's a potential for you to start treating 9.8s like 9.9s. You know what I mean? And so why would you not just send in for 9.9s? You know what I mean? And then default to 9.8 if it doesn't make it, if you have a pre-screen already. You know, it's a cash grab.
But is it going to be a 9? Is it going to be a pre-screen where, like, if it's not a 9.9, send it back to me?
If I was a businessman, right, I would have pre-screen for 9.9 and then an option to go 9.8.
9.8.
That's what I would have.
But that's it.
I would absolutely have it.
Don't give me 9.6 and 9.4.
No. Like, yeah, if it goes 9.4 or 9.6, then send it back to me. But like, yeah, I'll pay an extra $5 to see if it made it to a 9.9. But yeah, it's probably going to land in 9.8. Who's not going to pay that extra amount of money for an opportunity? And I just think that just now you're putting 9.9s on people's minds, like more prevalently than they're supposed to be, like diamonds that you can't find. They're things that are rare to find. And, you know, and what we do with 9.8s, you can say the same thing. How many 9.8s have you seen that look like 9.6s?
How many 9.8s that we've seen? Like fucking 8.5s.
So
well, I mean, those were probably ones that got cycled through Homeboy, huh? And I do, to go back to that, I do think that there's more than one person that's been involved with this. This is not one perpetrator. I think that this was a ring of perpetrators, and I think that they absolutely had an inside guy.
I tried. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no because it's such a risky business that whoever the dude who came up with this is probably like, this is on me. I'm going to keep it just me and me only. Right. So it's kind of like, I don't want, what is it? It's easy. What is it? It's easy to keep a secret when two are dead. You know, it's that kind of thing. It's my secret, my deal. I don't want anyone to blow the whistle on me. So the less people that know about it, the better. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's just a one guy deal.
Well, you need another person, but that's 300 books, you know. But anyways, so what Thomas was saying, and I was thinking to go on to, is what if, you know, there's very few 9.8 181s or ASM 300, not ASM 300, but say 181s. I think there's the older golden age, right? Would you resend it, right, to try to get 9.9? And how much would the value go up in that book if we were getting that 9.9?
Imagine if you got a fucking Hulk 181 at a 9.9. Considering the fact that the 9.8 recently sold for a shitload of money.
And then you can always go like, okay, the last sold, and then you can go, there's not many in the census and all this other bullshit. It's opening up another can of worms, pretty much.
Yeah, but think about what you're saying. A book that's already been graded, that's already been certified by the certified guaranteed company, would go back through that company because now they have a pre-screener that's already been said, hey, this is what this book is. And now all of a sudden it might bump. Don't you think that would call into question whether or not a 9.9 is really a 9.9 anymore?
Exactly. I think the criteria might lower a little bit for a 9.9 just because they want to get more 9.9s out there. They're pushing for this, right? So they're going to look, you know what, let's let this slide or let that slide. So if you get a 9.8 181 and repress it and do all this other stuff, you know what I mean? That's going to change the game for a lot of people, and then people we get like, fuck this shit.
Who's paying for that? Who's going to pay for this now? Who's going to pay for something that's a suspicious suspect 9.9?
Dude, there's a lot of people.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know that it holds the same value anymore. I don't know that I would hold 9.9s as the same coveted piece of collectible if now all of a sudden we're kind of watering it down. Now we're gonna Oprah 9.9s, right? You get a 9, you get a 9.9, you get a 9.9, right? You know, I just feel like that's just it calls into integrity, you know, the entire thing.
Bro, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think they're trying to get the eyes off of Slapgate and move it over here, because if they're over here focused, like if we say even us, we're talking about it, right? If we start talking about this a lot more than we're talking about the Slapgate, then okay, we can slowly forget it never happened, right?
They're deflecting. They're deflecting, right?
They want to go away from this controversy, they start another one. You know what I mean?
Imagine the fucking PR nightmare that CGC had to go through when this shit leaked out, and the first phone call to the CEO said, "We're gonna have a problem tomorrow morning," right? And now the private PI that they hired to do the internal work on these things. I personally think that CGC now is going to be even tougher. I think it's going to be even more. You're going to start seeing books that were probably graded at a 9.6 really be graded now at a 9.0 because they're getting some. This is my opinion. I don't give a fuck what everybody else thinks. This is my opinion, which means nothing.
Can we cuss on here?
Oh yeah.
My opinion is worth nothing. But I'm just saying, I just think that they're going to be tougher on grading. They're going to have more eyes on everyone. They're going to be switching things around internally compared to, they probably won't be as lax as they probably were at one point. So I think there's going to be a different kind of situation. And just to let you know, Thomas says he's never seen a 9.8. In November 2022, October 26, 2022, an Incredible Hulk 9.8 sold for
TOS 52. That's what
it sold for $146,000.
Damn.
Caesar, let me speak to that point you just brought up, right? Let's think about what we're saying here. We're saying that because never. First of all, thank you for having me, right? I'm very happy to be here.
Just to go on with it, look, Caesar, your opinions are worth a little.
Thank you, James. Always forever my friend.
Go ahead, man.
So here's my thing, right? We're saying that because the reholdering process had a flaw in it, that we're going to overhaul our grading standards. What does that do to the market? What does that do to the grading standard that we've dealt with for the past decade? What does it do for the grading standard during the comic book boom? And does it call those grades into question? You should not change your grading standard because you found out that a specific process had a fail in it. You should change the process. So if they just change the reholdering process, do not change the grading criteria. Do not change how aggressively you are looking at things, but change the case. Make the case so that it's tamper-proof now, so that you can tell when it's been tamper-proof. There are plenty of products that exist in the market today that if you tamper with them, it is very evident that they've been tampered with. They have the void stickers on them. They have there's ways of doing it, right? My point is that instead of, and it's, in these updates that we're getting from CGC, has anybody gotten any up? No one's talking about that. We're not talking about the problem and how they fix the problem. We're actually talking about everything that's not that. And that's what's important here, is that we would look into what the problem is and what the solutions for the problem are going to be. Not what they're going to have on the high rise, not what they're going to have on the horizon, not what they're bringing out to, as a new gimmick to boost sales and to deflect, right? What are you doing about the issues? And I said this from the beginning on their Instagram post. I wish they would be more transparent about what they're going to do. Make tamper-proof cases. Very simple. They can reach out to other engineers for the same process.
Well, we
So
saw you saw the video, right? Right
yeah,
away.
so everybody saw the video of that one, but he also the same person tried to do the same thing with CBCS, and it was a lot harder, and he couldn't really do it because you can tell that he fucks with it. So see, to what he showed, right? We're not sponsored by CBCS, right? We're not sponsored by anyway. If you want to reach out to us, I don't know, but
Hey, I'll change all that shit.
they try. You changed that real quick, wouldn't you?
Fuck
But
yeah.
talking about that, they tried to do that, and you can tell they were tampered, right? They couldn't really open it up correctly, like they didn't. They added the heat the same way, so it's a different material. So TBCS did something to, it was I don't know if they did it on purpose, but their construction of their slabs are a little bit better. Um, what's up, John? Another
Spare no
artist out here.
expense.
Another artist right there. That guy's he's a beast.
So there was a question real quick. Quick question. You can receive raw grades from CTC, right? Are you talking about when they can send you like the sleeve pre-graded, Rob, where they put that temper thing on the back of it like a sticker? Is that what you're talking about? Because they can send you a comic, right? Like this random comic.
It's like it'll say pre-grade.
Yeah, it'll be say qualified grade or pre-grade 9.6, right?
Yeah.
And it's not in this lab, and it has like a sticker in the back. It says sticker from the city CDC on the back of it. And is that what you're talking about? If that's so, I wonder if they use that as a reference. Like, hey, it's cheap. It's much cheaper than doing a slab. You know how they send somebody send an ASM 300 and they try to pre
like a pre-screen.
Yeah, the pre-screen, see if it's going to be 9.8, right? It's a lot cheaper than that, than just sending the slab. And once they find out, okay, this is a 9.8, let me get it back. I'm going to send it in again to get the 300. Then I'm going to bring it back, and I'm going to get reholdered again or something like. So I have not seen a video on that. I wonder how tamper-proof those sleeves are. Honestly, because they could do with a slab. Let's see how they can do with that.
I bought I want to say that Green Lantern. Fuck, these glasses suck.
You
What's
just
the
wanna
one with
see
what's
what
the one with John Stewart. Right.
First appearance, John
I
Stewart?
bought it. Right, the first appearance of John Stewart. I forgot what number that is. I bought it where it was pre-screened. It was pre-graded at a 5.8.0 or some shit like that. I actually went and got it graded, and it came back lower. So it's one of those things, kind of like, well, that's why you can't take that shit with the grade. You got to take every grade with a grain of salt. Listen, you could have some dude come in and his fucking dog just got ran over that morning, and he's in a fucked up mood. He sees a great ass 9.6 and going, it looks like a 9.0 to me. And in his shit is gold. His writing, all that stuff, and sends it off. It's like he sends it to a QR.
I'll take you even further. What about someone who's just poorly trained? They don't even have to have a disposition on their shoulder. Maybe the training is just called into question. No, that listen, I'm a military veteran, right? And so one of the things that I've noticed is that civilians don't have the same level of standards when it comes to inspection. You know what I mean? In specific industries, there's things that are called into question. Well, in the military, standardization is kind of like our culture, right? That doesn't necessarily exist out here. And when I saw it in grading spaces, I was like, oh, well, that makes sense because they're civilians, right? You know what I mean? Like,
So, that's something that Anthony brought up right here. I believe it's a problem with volume of things that were being sent after COVID. They went from grading to grade to now we hire 100 employees. Remember, they were hiring shitload of people because they had a different warehouse too. And then who knows what their training was? Was it the same kind of training from before, or they did a quick training they'll overlook? Obviously, it all starts from from the training itself. Let's see, what was the question here?
Yeah, poor training, right? You're gonna get.
I thought it's so unconvincing.
See that guy right there.
We'll get you the 9.9 pre-screen.
9.9 all day long. All day long. Get that during your grading 10.0s all fucking night. So
go ahead, Caesar. Go ahead. I have actually a thought on that because earlier Matt had brought up the whole defect situation, right? How much it affects the grade. There was medals being sent by some retailers that I know. They're metal. These are metal books straight to them. Metal books from the printer, and you're getting pre-screen 9.8, right? And tell me how some of them got 8.5, got a 9.2. But these are metal books. How can a
You
metal
would have to
book?
ding that. I mean, you would have to drop it from a building for it to get a ding or a smudge or a.
Well, I mean,
misprint.
like, there's printing defects that get held against the
Sure.
standard too, right? You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
saying
If
yes,
you
one
use
or
the
two, not more than 20.
Well, sure, sure. It depends on what the printing defect is, right? And we're talking about printing on metal. So that introduces a whole nother aspect of, how those defects are received and, how they may be presented on the actual the metal comics. So, because they're not even comics, are they? They're just like metal slabs of metal that just have a cover on them, right?
No, well, they have a comic. Like, say it's like one of these, but the front cover is metal. That's it.
Okay.
Everything else behind it. But they're showing some of the covers that some were dinging in the corner. Like, you got to do a lot of damage to ding a metal cover, pretty much. And they get it to an 8.5.
But
That's
it's not just the cover being graded, though, right? We're talking about the entire book.
Well,
So
yeah,
just
yeah.
because you
Well,
see,
you're
you don't
right.
know what's inside the
That's
book. But
right.
once again, that goes back to the transparency that we have a lack of from CGC. They don't give grader notes. They don't, it's just inconsistency, no standard across the board.
I want. I
It's
want to. I want
questionable.
to speak to that part exactly. Many people who go, "Hey, let me see the cert on that book." Oh, it comes back. No, it comes back no grader notes. Well, what's the number? It's a 9.6. Oh, that's why. So like 9.6 and above, they don't give you grader notes. As if
It's stupid.
you were to fucking sit there and go, let's see. Okay. Oh, I visually see a folded page on number 14. You're not gonna see that shit. So they should at least say dog ears inside or foxing inside or page 12 or whatever it is, but don't keep us guessing of why this 9.6 did not get a 9.8. And now the talk's going to be, why didn't it get a 9.9? If it's going to be the norm, right? That's the scary
So
part. 9.9
here's
is the
my
big deal.
question, Caesar, for you, to your point. Who do you think controls whether or not the company folds and we hold them accountable? Who do you think can get the company to start giving us those greater notes for those 9.6s and giving us the transparency that we
I tell
demand?
you, you're looking at it right now. All of
It's
us.
us.
That's
It's
right.
us. So why is it do you think that CGC is introducing this 9.9 like conundrum thing of being able to get a pre-screen for a book? We have questions about the books we get today. It ain't just the 9.9s. It ain't just the 9.8s. We're talking about books that we have that we're like, hey, how did this book that was dead stock has been sitting in a box for the in a warehouse for God knows how long, never went out into the into circulation. How did this book not get a 9.8? How is it a 9.2? How is it a 9.4? Where are the grader notes? Why
starts to
can't
piss
we
me
see that?
off.
You know what I mean? And then when you get grader notes, have you ever compared your grader notes to the Overstreet price? I mean, the Overstreet grading guide.
Wow.
Oh,
Have you ever seen the disparity between how certain things are weighed versus others?
so
Like,
and that's
there should be some transparency here.
so that's a good question. I'm glad you brought it up because Matt, the other Matt on here, asked a question. In your guys' opinion, how much should a tiny rip in page one take down a 9.8 grade? You know what? We're gonna start off with David first, and then we'll go with Matt, and then Caesar, and then I'll go last. So, what do you think, David? What would you grade it?
If it was me with no training at all, because I'm just a employee that just got hired after COVID. I'm just kidding. I, I'm just fucking with you guys. I mean, honestly, like, and this is I got to give the justification for my answer, right? So, being that we hold the standard for the grading, me as the employee want to be fair and consistent. If it has a rip in it, to me, it's not going to be in the nines. It'd be lucky to be a 9.0, in my opinion. That's just me. And again, it's like what I talked about before. Like it's subjective. Like it really is. Like you might have
Yeah,
the training and the transparency, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to waste time sending a torn book. I mean, I really don't like it. Financially, as a reseller, it makes no difference to me. As a personal collector, maybe. But for me, if it's a rip there, I'm not gonna go. It has to be everything has to be fucking perfect, and I'll maybe put a 9.0 on it. But that's just again,
yeah.
that's
This
my
guy needs a
personal opinion.
BJ before you send him a book for
I mean
sure.
that's a 9.2. No, I'm
That's
kidding.
that's what I do.
That's a
All right,
9.2
Matt.
for sure.
What do you think, Matt?
So here's my thing. Everything to me, I feel like that there should be a standard, right? And I think that standard should be the Overstreet grading guide, right? I think that the point system should be based on that. I think it should be standardized across the board. I don't think it should be subjective at all. I think that it is possible to make it standardized if there's accountability and if there's proper training and a proper standard that's outlined. To answer your question about a rip, who has a conversation about a book in the near mint conversation with the word rip in it? We're not doing it. We're not. Is a book very fine plus with a rip in it? No. A rip is a rip is a rip, right? Now, maybe the worse the rip gets, the lower the grade gets. But if we're talking about an eighth of an inch of a rip, I think you automatically should go down to 8.5.
Damn.
That's your threshold now.
We're
not talking about a crease. We're talking about a rip.
A tiny rip, like,
an eighth of an inch.
Okay. All right. I learned something today. Not to hire these two motherfuckers to grade my books as PGC. That's all I'm saying. Two.
You're guaranteed to get what you pay for, though.
Two.
But if you send me a cash app, bro, I got you. I'll put that shit real quick.
PGX prices right here, I'm telling you.
To me, a 9.8 is from front to back and everything in between, right? We're talking 9.8 is this close. 9.8 is considered a near mint, right?
Yeah.
Near.
Yes.
Not
near mint. Not mint.
Not
near mint.
Right? Mint. For it to have a tear in the front cover about this size, I would probably give that still a 9.8.
Well, okay. I was gonna go look. I'm gonna go next. I was gonna give it a 9.4, me personally, because if it doesn't, it's a page one, right? It's not the cover. Obviously, the cover's still looking cute. He's doing his thing. It doesn't mess up the story, right? It's just an insignificant part. Yeah, it does mess up mitness, but it's still up there. To me, that's a 9.4. But what, a 9.8? I'm siding more with them.
Well,
don't make me the villain, bro.
Let me tell you why. Because one, I wanted to see what Matt's reaction would be. And it was exactly what I thought it was.
Oh my gosh.
And honestly, let's speak real. 9.8 should be absolutely almost pristine, right? I would probably drop it down to a 9.6, even a 9.4, if it's a tiny ass rip. Now, the thing is that many people question these numbers because they look at the cover in these slabs, right? And the cover goes, this fucking thing is a 9.9 to 10. I mean, it's all black, no waves, no ticks, front and back. But the inside could have 14 ripped pages. The MSV is out. Blah 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 blah. So that's why it's tough, right? That's why you can't. That's why you can't do that. And what do? Crack open and go, oh yeah, that dude's right. It is. And then what do? Put it back in the case?
That's why there needs to be transparency. And you know what? A photo system where they video. Obviously, this is ridiculous, right? For them to take a picture of every page as they're grading it, right? But wouldn't you feel better? Wouldn't you at least just feel better if you had the grader notes that said what the issue was? You know what I mean? I know there's going to be assholes that are still going to flip through it and be like, whatever, I looked through that book before I sent it in. I know there was no tear in there, right? There's people that are still going to do that, right? And then there's going to be people that are going to shoot their shot like, yo, man, I know this corner is fuzzy, but I'm still going to shoot it, right? But my thing is this, go back to, this is why people who got us into comics, right? The boomers, right? This is why boomers hate grading. Because it got so far away from what grading actually is. A 9.0 is a near mint minus. A near mint minus. How do you have a near mint anything with a tear? A tear. It doesn't matter what page it's on. It's near mint. Near mint minus. Right? That's where you start getting, there was a crease. Or there was some fuzz. Or, there was a little speck of dirt. That's near mint minus, right? What are we talking about here? A couple spine ticks. That's in its near mint condition, minus this going on. But if I got a tear, it's not near mint.
Look,
that's damage.
Near mint, damage would be like affecting a lot of it. You're not really affecting much with a baby tear. You're talking about a tear as big as the gap between your teeth. That's what the tear we're talking about.
That's a big ass
Okay,
tear.
so let me turn it around then. Let me tell you. Let me turn it around on you then, right? Okay.
Big ass.
All
Do
right.
you think fading? Do you think sun fading should have a significant impact on grading for a book?
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
A safe fade is affecting the cover, pretty much,
So
right?
Yeah,
you're
sure, it
grading
can. It
you're grading
can.
the cover. That means you're grading a lot of
Right.
it on the cover.
Right. Sure, you should, right? Because obviously the cover is the cover. It's the cover of the book. It's what we are gravitated to.
I've
It's
seen some high
it's what brings
grades.
us
I've
in.
seen some high grades, and I look at that cover. I'm like, how is that a 7.0?
Well,
That's
those books
done.
likely have been graded and then put on a shelf somewhere, and they
Well,
sun faded
that is not
after they've been graded, right?
right.
Which it brings me to another point. How much do you pay to get your book slabbed? Should the inclusion of whatever chemical that makes that plastic UV not be included in what you're paying for? Why is that not already a thing? Why are the cases not automatically UV? Even if it's not the cases, why not the seals that they use that they put the books in?
Well,
That's,
yeah, true,
there's a lot of money
but
they
I'm
got
also
put
not the
into it.
idiot who doesn't have that has the lights on 24 hours and the windows all open and have my fucking House
What
of
have I
Secrets
started?
92 right outside the outside the window. I'm also not that moron,
So,
but there are many out there.
so there was something that what's his face Brandon had put up. So yeah, so there was no grader notes, right? Oops, skipped over something. Made a BG before. Okay, right here. I had 8.5 without grader notes and sent it back and got a 9.2. So that's where we're talking about earlier. Like, do we risk it one more time? Did they fuck up, or
Yeah.
that?
I can speak to this right now. I am slowly turning into that guy that if you buy a slab that's an 8.0 and it's good, whatever, silver, because I'm a silver guy, and it's already at a good 8.5, 8.0, James knows what I'm talking about, 8.5, 8.0, old generation CGC label. The first thing the person thinks about is, I'm going to crack that shit. I'm going to slab it. I'm going to press it. I'm going to clean it. I'm going to send it to somebody else, press it, clean it. And
Hell yeah.
And what happens?
Goes
It
down.
comes back lower. I had a Doctor Strange 169 8.0 first gen. Sent it away to my presser. Came back 7.5. Not happy with it. He wasn't happy with it. As a matter of fact, he said, send it back on me. I'm going to redo my shit and send it back to him. Came back 7.5. We also have to understand that the old generations were also very lenient with their grading. They weren't grading as hard as they are now.
Or
That's not what I've heard. I heard the opposite of that.
Technology can be different.
I think back then, including CBCS, also were lenient with their grades. I think they were lenient with the grades.
CBCS.
No, CBCS.
You said CBCS was?
Okay,
yeah.
Now,
I heard that CGC was like super hard on their grading back in the day in their scale. I don't know. I don't know, but I wasn't there.
But this is what I'm trying to get to is when you send a book to get graded and press and read because you want to get a bump because it's an old label. Yes, you can look at a book in a slab and go, this thing's wavy as shit, never been pressed. You look back, it's never been cleaned. It's dirty. Okay, it's a candidate. But if you go and go, I don't know, it's an old slab, but it looks pretty good. You're taking that gamble. It's Russian roulette. If you're going to,
I think that's true. You can absolutely look at a book and tell if a book has ever been pressed.
You can tell, right?
Or if a book has been pressed and was pressed bad.
Yeah.
Right? Where you're like, oh, you know what? So I think that that's fair. And I think that there's no issue in sending it back. But I would love, and this is me and my wish list, right? I would love a process that exists for CGC to regrade.
So,
right? Where CGC takes your book, they press and clean it, and then they present you with your new grade, right? When they see that, hey, and you can have your criteria for why you're resubmitting it. Resubmitting due to red label, right? Resubmitting due to, resubmitting for pressing and cleaning bump, right? Those processes can be very transparent and lucrative for a company like CGC, right? But we don't have that. What we have is a lot of secrecy, a lot of like smoke and mirrors, and a lot of transparency.
I have a hot take on this, like the whole conversation. We're kind of like mad about certain things. So back in what I want to say
Mad.
2021, or I think we were complaining that we never got our fucking books back, right? Fucking CGC, fucking they taking the whole fucking years, blah blah
Forever.
blah. So what did CGC? What did CGC do? They hired 100 people. They did that because we were complaining a lot, right? And in doing so, their training it was up, it was hurried up. I don't think we as a collector, as a reseller, take accountability for, hey, it was kind of our fault too, right? Because we should have never.
I think that's bullshit.
They should no,
Right?
because
Well,
they weren't ready for
that's
this.
what a company should do. Well, that's them for not doing it the right way, right? They didn't roll out the increase in volume production the right way. That has nothing to do with us saying, hey, you need to, be able to provide more service, right? The service you're providing is inadequate for what we have. That's our right as feedback to that service that we pay for, right? They obviously come back to us and then say, okay, cool, we hired all these people. What was your training regimen like? What's the QA process look like, right? Again, standardization and training. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah, but think of it like this. If you're CGC, right, and you're hiring because your demand's high, you're going to hire 100 people. You know that there's going to be a dip in it. So they probably have the plans already to roll out a 9.9 regrading system to be able to do that. Because, again, they're setting that market. Because if I'm over here hiring 100 people for a thing that's a big thing in the industry, I'm going to have my follow-up plan.
That pre-screen.
Okay, so you're thinking.
I think that's fair.
I think. Okay, hold on. All right, now my work brain is working.
Took a minute.
So 9.9, this motherfucker. So 9.9 was always in the process. What they probably did is bumped it up a little bit because
let's roll it out sooner.
Let's roll it out sooner.
First quarter, bro. They're going to try to do their best to recover.
Many corporations already have
Walmart mindset, guys. 10 years. When I used to give a shit. When I used to give a shit back then.
Now, but you're probably right. They just didn't wake up the next morning and go, hey, I have a plan. Eureka 9.9 pre-sales. Pre-screens. What do you guys think? Well, let's go with it. Let's roll with it. And let's do a press. Let's put it out. No. This shit's already been talked about. But they just kind of
pushed it because of the situation. Brandon, if you're still
why are they pushing out these things and not what we are asking for? Right? This is no different than what we have in the media, right? When people were like, yo, we want this going on, and then they start showing us more of the bullshit that we don't want, right? Because they're deflecting from the real issues that we should be focusing on. This is standard practice from these businesses. Listen, I love CGC. Right? I buy, I collect to display. Everyone knows I buy to collect the display, right? I'm the sixth god. I have 1,000,000 6.0 books. I used to have 1,000,000 6.0. I don't anymore. I'm broke now. But my point is that I buy to put my books on display, just like Caesar does, right? Caesar has a display behind him, and a lot of it depends. There's uniformity in the label, right? I love how the label is designed, in compared to their competitors, right? I just feel like there's a lack of transparency and there's some accountability we have to put on. I'm not taking no ownership on them hiring a bunch of people and poorly training them and poorly preparing them for the wave that they're going to have. Why would I take accountability? That's on them.
It's a double-edged sword, though, because you want your books instantaneously, right? Because when we used to submit books, they took, 30 days up, and they doubled it to 120 days. So, it's a cause and effect thing. I mean, you're not... Out of those 100 people, probably 20 still fucking work there.
So hold on. We should have been asking not to hurry up our book. Hey, let's do it properly, please. There should be a process, but we wanted it, whatever. But my thing is, what are your thoughts on CGC selling their own books, like their own kind of books? Because there's, and then they grade them themselves. You know what I mean? They're selling.
You mean like their own personal books?
Yeah, not their own personal book. I'm talking about
incentives.
Like as a publisher, they're doing their own publishing. They're publishing the book. How can they?
That's a conflict of interest.
Exactly. So I mean, that's what's coming up next, and that's what's in the talks. And I think Brandon brought it up too. I had seen it, and they were going to partner with somebody. Yeah, they're not officially part of it, but you're partnering with something like that. It's.
Listen. If they do that, they're gonna shoot themselves in the foot, and CGC is gonna listen. I'm gonna tell you, and this is 100% true. Okay, the only thing CBCS is missing to be in direct competition and to be above CGC is a label. Every label they have, design wise, aesthetically, is horrendous. They never work, and I don't know who they go to get them designed, right? But it's just that
Caesar.
it's just so bad. If they created a new standard of what that label should look like, right? And it was made with a design level factor involved in it that was aesthetically pleasing. Who wouldn't jump ship? We already have a bad rapport with CGC. We do. What if CBCS was like, yo, regrade your books with us at a discounted price?
Bro,
We'll automatically reholder all your shit
Would
I
you?
do it.
with their
Would
new
you?
label. Who
I
wouldn't do
do it.
that?
I wouldn't do that
Who
shit.
wouldn't do it?
I fucking wouldn't do
Yo,
that shit.
CBCS, Matthew Lucas, hire me. I'll be your PR rep. I'm here for you.
My goodness.
I'll design your label. I'm here.
I have that Green Lantern 7.0 CBCS with the old blue label. I would send that to my presser, have them crack and do it, and send it to CGC just to get a CGC case.
Right, because you like uniformity.
We all have that OCD in us. So if you look at this wall and see nothing but CGC, and then you see one CBCS blue, it would drive you fucking insane
Every day.
Look at
So I don't understand the people who sleep at night with their walls looking like that. That's why I don't collect signature series. I don't want signature series because it's yellow. I don't have no more yellow on my wall. Stop thumbing up, man.
So Brandon said they're selling 9.8 DC incentives. That's what they're doing. So that's like, like you say, conflict. The new
Wait, hold on.
CBCS. Go ahead.
If they're gonna grade their own comics,
They're
wouldn't
not
that
good
be
though.
cherry picking from the ones that they're printing? So they are going to get the higher grades because they're going to be.
But the thing
selecting
is, they did this previous with certain retailers. They were supposed to get 500 copies are made, but only 100 are going to be graded. The other ones were supposed to be trashed. They were supposed to record it or show the video live, whatever the fuck. It never happened. Right? The books were graded, but we don't know when those 400 went. So they could have been graded. They could have been sold somewhere else. They could have been this and that. We don't know because they didn't show that those books were being demolished. So say they did send out the 100, but now they have backstock and they can redo it and then sell it on eBay or do that kind of stuff. There was, like Matt says, there was no transparency with that issue. So we'll see how they go going forward. And as much as we can talk about TGC, I want to move on to the next because it's been an hour. We're supposed to be like only 2 hours. So the next topic, and I know Brandon's here. He still loves this one. The McFarlane situation with the Spawn covers, right? He wanted to do like an incentive. Hey, you want to do a cover for us? Show us what you got. Send it to us. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of controversy on that. People are complaining about it because the artists are not going to get paid properly. They're getting a lot of publicity this way. They don't need it. Certain shit like that. What are your thoughts, Matt, Adam? I was reading Adam collections, but Matt or David, do you think? What are your thoughts on it? Do you have any thoughts on it? Any opinions? I know Matt, goes in depth. So I'm gonna go with David first again.
I'm simple. No, I'm just kidding. No, so we did talk about that in our last podcast when it came to the McFarlane being submitted. So, I mean, honestly, if you really think about it, there's no such thing as bad publicity. So, regardless if you're talking about it good or bad, you're still going to promote his books and what he's done, both in the culture and in the collectible world. But regardless of the fact, you don't have to submit it if you don't want to. But I think it was a good thing to get the fans involved because ultimately, we always come down to this when it comes to the community. It's either going to be money or clout. That's pretty much what everybody wants, so they're going to be using their drawings and stuff. They want to be able to get paid and so forth. But I think it's good for that true comic book fan because you're not really going to submit nothing unless you're actually loving Spawn. I'm not going to go and draw something if I'm not like a huge fan, but if your work gets chosen, it gets published, a true fan is going to want to get their work out there, and then it could lead to multiple things. So it's more of the opportunity, not so much of the opportunity for money. Because just like everything else you do, you have to be able to get your name out there and be able to help out. Because you never know what's going to happen with that first submission that they do.
That's true. That is true. So exactly, you're gonna have the right. I wonder what. Honestly, I've not submitted anything, so I wonder what, if there's rights. Hey, you submit with us, but we got to keep the art for later or for another use or whatever the heck. So you never know. So what do you think, Matt?
Well, first, let me just thanks, Barney. I appreciate it so much. I work really hard, and it's great to get recognized for that. So thank you. So yeah, so listen, I'm an artist myself, right? And I grew up illustrating comics. I grew up, with the dream of being a comic book illustrator. Anytime you give, anytime there's a convention where Marvel was, doing auditions or taking interviews or taking a look at people's portfolios, any opportunity that supports artists being recognized and having an opportunity to get recognized, I'm always going to be 100% in support of, right? Uh, there, the world is filled with artists that we never get to see, with different perspectives and experiences and walks in life that really lend to the visual medium that they portray. There's no way that I would ever have anything negative to say about an opportunity for them to be recognized. Now, I will say, to that point, I do believe that the way that we went about this probably wasn't as thought out as it should have been. Um, but I've seen that happen before. I used to do music, and I used to see the posts where it was tag your rapper friend or you're the best producer in
Yeah,
this post for an opportunity to XYZ. Well, you know what? Right now, I own a record label, and I look for talent actively. And so when those posts go out, maybe I'm not Todd McFarlane, right? But I'm the person that's going to go through there and see what other talent is getting passed by. And I think that's a great opportunity, right? Putting people on, giving people a platform to get recognized. I don't see anything wrong with it.
I like seeing these people's. I love seeing artists pers-
condition.
um, perception of Spawn,
Yeah,
what Spawn means to them, how what, and not only that, but what type of Spawn, right? We see a lot of gunslinger spawns out there and stuff like that. And it's like it's so cool because a lot of times we get to see these artists come and go, who that's badass, who is it? And you go, John Doe, never heard of that dude, but you know what? I'm gonna go
that's
look him
true.
up because maybe I like his other stuff. So what it is, if anything, you're showcasing it. It's forcing people to come out of the rock,
Woodworks.
out of the woodwork, who think, oh, fuck it, why not? And they might get noticed by another publisher going, oh, that's some good stuff, kid.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Why don't let's talk? All because they took a chance, and with something what Todd is doing with Image, why not? So fuck it. If you draw it and it's great, send it out. If it gets picked up, good for you. If not, we got to be exposed to some of your good art, man.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Maybe
It's
another publisher to get over.
God, my gosh, fucking people love to complain about
I,
shit. It
Bro,
is
the
I
eye
feel like
candy though.
over.
The eye
I
candy
f-
for the past 2 weeks is amazing,
Oh,
right?
I've seen
There's
some
so
good
many
stuff.
spot. People are friends and submitting. Others like, oh, Todd just released this and that. And did you see? Like, oh, that's fucking awesome. Like 2 hours later, oh shit, that looks fucking awesome. I feel bad for the people that are supposed to judge, right? How are you gonna? I'm pretty sure there's gonna be hundreds. I mean, hundreds of fucking people
Oh
putting shit
yeah,
out there,
yeah.
and they're like, how are you gonna pick between all these great artists?
From
You know,
around
it's
the world, mind you.
around the exactly around the world,
We're
not just
just seeing what we see. We're not even seeing what the other countries are putting out there. And we all know that everywhere around across this world is badass when it comes to artists. Now, I will say there's probably some people who draw, and I will be the first to say it, should not be drawing. So it's one of those things that it's getting exposure for the artists, and that's great. We're for the artists. We're a podcast for artists. We have tons of artist friends, and we don't fuck AI and all that stuff.
yeah,
That's what it's about. It's about what you can do and come out of your shell and fucking show us your talent because we want to see it. I may not read the book, but I can look at the
so
cover and go,
it
that's
is
good stuff.
crazy because they go for a lot. Like these covers go for a lot, right? Because Brandon, I don't know, I tagged you, you missed it. Clyde McDonald was selling OA, right? Original art from the books for Spawn. I
Mhm.
think it was issue 15. I can't remember, but it was going for over 1,000. Some were going for 3,500. Wow, it's expensive. And once you make it to a Spawn cover, those those things are like they're fucking pricey. Caesar, what do you say? keep out of my sketchbook.
Yeah, your shitty ass
Hey,
sketchbook.
so here's an idea, guys. So instead of holding contests to see who's going to win, to be, to get their artwork featured as a cover for my book. Well, if I'm Tom McFarlane, why don't I have an open call for artists to submit for 25 different variant covers?
No.
Why don't I have an opportunity to feature 20 different
No.
artists?
I
Right?
beat you
Why
on that,
why
bro.
why why not? Why not, Dave?
Because what if that 1 in 100 ratio is all of them combined to make one spawn, like with the different shades and stuff, like the multiple pictures?
Even better,
Yeah.
even
Dude, that
better,
would be
right?
fun.
That'd be
So what if
freaky,
that's
bro.
variant number? We're giving out free game right now. What if
Yeah,
that's
no shit,
variant
man.
number? What if that's the 25th cover out of them? And there's what if, let's say, remember when Ariel Diaz was on on Facebook and and Twitch, and she was doing her art, and what if what if she had an opportunity to submit for a cover? That cover was so dope. Everyone jumped behind it. The demand went through the roof. It's now hard to find, and she becomes the next Peach Momoko, right? Where there's all this hype around her because there's not enough books to go around of her artwork, right? Imagine the artist that has no contract, that hasn't been signed to one of the publishers, one of the big three yet. Imagine what that does for them, and imagine what that does for the community and the opportunities that now are available to the community by just presenting opportunities like that. I feel like we need more of that in the community.
I mean, I definitely
Talking
agree.
about
Go ahead.
talking about that, I talked about earlier. Sorry, my wife brought me some tacos, so I'm gonna be eating right now. Anyways,
Comic menu.
yeah, dude, I'm always eating on this show. I don't give a fuck. I'm always hungry. But Brian Pulido, the creator of Lady Death, did that, right? He made a post. Hey guys, who do you recommend to do a cover for us who hasn't done it? Bro, I can see like people tagging friends that I know, like, yeah, that person would be awesome. Oh yeah, that person would. You know what? That person would be awesome. So I'm hoping one of my friends hopefully gets a cover from because there's certain ones like David Sanchez, the grays with that guy. He does black and white and grays. Amazing.
One of the best.
Yes, you have Martin Zavala, you have William Russell, he was tagged, On Boo, Aaron Bartling. Um, our friend Chelsea should have been. I should have tagged her because she was a great artist. Because she's up and coming. Obviously, a friend. I met this guy, and I think you know him too, Matt. Brian Sincere, right from Doom
Doom
Collectibles, right?
variants was a
Doom
new.
Variants, right? I met him as a seller. I never knew he did art. For the past year, he's been drawing, and look at that. That's
It's brilliant.
amazing for somebody that I didn't know was like an artist. He's been amazing. So I'm hoping people like him can get a shot just to do one cover, right? I was able. Oh, hold on, let's see this crafty
Ooh.
Mandalorian
This is the
here.
way. That's nice.
I mean,
Very nice.
he just did it because he goes, I want to draw something for you.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
So
and the thing is that guy, you're
tell
right,
me, keep me
Dell.
hungry.
Like Dell said, guys like him who never would, won't ever look at, has an opportunity to be looked at.
true.
So
And you
let me
know,
tell you what we
I
can
only
do
have
about
this
that.
napkin, just so you guys know.
damn it,
So, I only
you have
have
the
this
napkin.
napkin.
I've got a hotel key. That's all I
One of
got.
one.
Listen,
I'll beat
I'm
you
I'm
right here.
I'm relatively new to collecting, right? Like I started in 2020, like right before the pandemic, right? This is my thing. There are so many means in which we as a community can take a little more control of what's going on, right? Like, name your favorite artist that you think that you would love to see a cover from them. Well, an exclusive cover only costs $10,000. I know, like I'm saying, only $10,000, right? But why don't we just crowdfund it? Why don't we just do GoFundMe's for the covers that we want from the artists we'd like to see on the cover? Remember that one cover that I think Comic Tom featured was done by someone's daughter or something like that, and they had it slabbed, and it was like this exclusive they paid for or something like that. Yo, we could easily do things like that and crowdfund it and then do that for like raising funds for different causes, different charities, donations. Like we have so much available to us to do these things, but we just don't. Why is that?
Hey, honestly, I tried. Was it last year? I had more funds available, and I made my own exclusive. I'm not a big seller. I didn't give a fuck about me selling, but I got Envoy on a cover. I was able to help Anthony Apodaca to get on his first cover as well. Um, I was with Martin, Kyle Willis. Who else? I was with Aaron Barley. I was had one of my covers.
Mm.
Who else? So I've been a part of that, but financially, like you're right, crowdfunding would be the best way because coming out of pocket.
100%.
Yeah. And look, another guy. So look, William, talk about this because people still have money pertaining to donate. So William started crowdfunding. He has his own book. Where did I put his book? Damn it. Um,
Psycho Cell.
Psycho Sal. Right. I got his Kickstarter. I'm waiting for the next one to the next book. So I'll have up to 5, I think. He did his own thing. He's an artist. Instead of just waiting to you get work, he created his own work and is hiring other artists. Right. He's hiring other artists,
To do the cover.
unknown art. He has to do covers. Right.
Mhm.
So it's crazy. Like you would, he's setting up a platform or like what's it called? A playbook, pretty much, right? To do like if you're an artist and you want to create something, create something, right? Help if you have a little base, slowly start from there. I think William, what is it? It's Kickstarter. Yeah, that's what I get from Kickstarter. So just, I mean, he has a playbook. I think people should follow him, right? He's just controversial because Russell will say how it is, and he would call out people like obviously he's on the comment section when money is involved, you get thieves. See, like honestly, he's not controversial, but people don't like to hear when they're being called out, pretty much. And really doesn't give a fuck. He'll call you out. This is and that, and it's gonna happen.
Hold people accountable,
So,
bro. Shit.
so listen, I'm just gonna put this out there. Yo, my man John, what's up, John? Thanks for checking in. Hey, so listen, I'm just gonna put this out there, right? There's some fantastic artists that I know in the blurred community that don't get the love that they should get, and I've seen their art on my feed all the time. I'm not waiting for someone else to do it. I'm gonna say it right now. The first Revenge of the Nerd exclusive will be featuring an artist by the name of Marcus Williams, and I will have him do my first cover of a Marvel book that will be crowdfunded. Okay, now I think I have a respectable name in the community enough to know that I'm not a thief and I'm not taking people's money. But I'll make sure that the perks are worth it. It's going to be a Revenge of the Nerd exclusive. But I'm not going to wait for other people to do what I think is right. And I think it's right that people should be pushing forward the things that they believe in. And I think that we have artists out there that don't get the recognition for the wrong reasons. And I'm going to help push them to the forefront however I can.
Well, look at that. The man of the people and guy over there eating tacos. This is the podcast of many spectacles. All right,
Bro, it's funny. What's our when they talk about Mexicans, they think about people eating
beans.
tacos, beans or tacos. Like, I mean, fucking eating tacos. I don't care. So it is what it's. Look at Clean Crane. Look at Black Flag. So I haven't seen Black Flag in a while, but I know Crane is with who is it? Midtown Comics or some big comic book. So they're sponsoring for MegaCon. Oh, MegaCon is showing up. I know Caesar's going. Will's going to be there, right?
Yeah.
Matt,
See Will.
David, what is the next cons that y'all are going to?
Well, I think the next con I'm going to, I can't remember the dates, but I think it's going to be, it's in Las Vegas. I'm a Las Vegas native. It's called, oh my God, I can't remember the name of it.
The big one?
No, it's not. It's not a Comic Con. It's actually like
Las Vegas.
Level Up Expo. That's the next con that I'll be going to. Level Up Expo. I'll be going there, and I'll just be a patron there. I'm not really. I'll probably do some coverage if anything.
Speaking of Aaron, there he goes. What up, my man? Yeah, Aaron's gonna be. Listen, there's gonna be a lot of William's gonna be there. Aaron's gonna be there. I'm looking forward to it. See, once again, I'm just going on a Friday, and I personally think because of me, one day at a con is enough.
Are we talking about Level Up?
No, we're talking about a fucking real con, homie.
Good guy.
Damn.
I'm not just in the comics.
No, I'm talking about MegaCon. I think MegaCon.
Okay.
I'm not a con person. I'm really not. I'm just not. It's too many fucking nerds, So for me, one day is good. But if you're one to go and get all the autographs and stand in line, and then go see the actors and get your hoverboard signed by Michael J. Fox and wait in line for 3 hours. Oh, no, I didn't have a chance to go see this guy, so I'm going to go tomorrow. Oh, I didn't have the chance, I'm going to go on Saturday. I get that. But for someone like me who's just going to roll around just to kind of see my friends like William and finally get to see Aaron, I get to meet William in Denver, but go see other guys that I've never met and fans. And I'm going to go see Robert Olive. I mean, he's there. We already said, hey, let me know where you're going to be. So we're going to meet up and finally meet. There's a lot of people out there from the Facebook community where I started that we've talked for years, but never physically met. And I mean, Dell and I think we're probably going to meet sooner than later because I'll probably go to Dallas at one of the cons. You know, it's not that far from me. I'm in New Mexico. He's in another country, Texas. So, you know, the thing is that that's the fun part is meeting friends. That's the best part, man. You know, and that's what the community is all about. Because I was just saying earlier, man, people love to bitch, and this kind of leads to the show Echo. I don't know if you guys seen Echo. No spoilers. There's only 5 episodes. Okay, I've seen 4. I love the show. I'm digging the show. I'm digging the fight scenes. I love the Native American culture behind it. I'm in it. People just fucking talk. Oh, she doesn't do that in the comic books. Oh, her hair's like that in the comic books. Oh,
Really?
Oh my!
I haven't seen any hate for it actually. I've seen nothing but a lot.
I
I've
know,
seen a lot of praise
right?
actually.
But believe it or not, there's going to be those people. They're like, wait a minute. No one's talking shit about it. I think it's time. Too much positive. Too much positive.
Let's not even put that into the universe. If you haven't seen it yet, let's just talk about the praises of it, right?
Go
Because
watch
the important thing. So I've already
recommend.
binged it. I've already binged it, right? I binged it the first night it came out, and my cousin, who he subscribes to my channel as well, and I love him for supporting me. So, but yeah, he said, I know you're going to release a review video for it. I'm just waiting for it. I wasn't going to ask you, and I was like, I wasn't planning on doing a review on this at all. You know, I simply said, you know, I put it on my Facebook page. I was like, hey, watched it, loved it, great time, 7.5, right? It wasn't groundbreaking. It was groundbreaking and monumental for what it was, but quality wise, the story wasn't flooring. You know, the performances weren't astronomically incredible. You know, it was good. It was good. It was about as good as the Marvels was, right? The Marvels was pretty good too.
That's
You know,
right. But you like the Marvels. That's right.
I don't know, man.
Yep,
That's
yep.
your comparisons to the Marvels.
Yeah, I would. Why would I not? Because I graded the Marvels as a 7.5 too. You know, it was cool, right? There were some good performances. There were some performances that were kind of mid. The story wasn't amazing, right? It wasn't like, you know, Homecoming or, you know, not Homecoming. It's not like No Way Home or Endgame level, right? But it was good. I had a good time. I went and watched it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it is better, but I kind of put them on par, right? To me, they were above average.
You want to watch a good show? Watch Reacher. Reacher's the shit.
I've been wanting to watch it. I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to watch it. But
Reacher is the.
Like Matt, I gave Marvels a 7 too. The story, you know what? You know how we grading, you know, comics one fucking strip and you go 8.5. The writing pretty much sucked. I'm not gonna lie about that. But it was a fun movie. I hate how they nerfed the Marvel character, the superheroes, right? They made the villain extra powerful for some fucking reason, right? She was just a regular, and then like I kind of got pissed that she never went back to the planet of her fucking husband. Like you're not gonna see if he's okay. Like they just suck the fucking water from his planet. Go back and check on him. Like nah, fuck that fool. Like
you know
move on.
I haven't seen it yet, but thanks.
Oh, you just spoiled the hell of.
I wasn't talking shit to get the conversation going.
Wow.
I haven't seen it yet, but then again, I'm not much of a thing. But I will say one thing. I just saw it right here. Someone said something. I hear a lot of people dumping their Disney Plus subscriptions. Right.
Oh, that was what's his
that was
name?
Brandon.
Yeah.
Brandon, if you're swinging by Albuquerque area, let me know, man. We could hook up for a drink or a fucking hot chip or the hell. But you know, it's one of those things that Disney Plus people are like, There's nothing in it. Why the fuck am I paying $12 or whatever your subscription is?
That's where
I
my
still,
MCU library lives.
I will still keep it because that like a show like this, I would miss
Teacher.
Echo, and I really appreciate and I really do enjoy Echo. And
It was a good time, right? I think Echo is better than Miss Marvel, and Miss Marvel was really good on the
I will.
cultural,
true,
the
true.
let me bring you into my home and show you how I live, right? Um,
That's a
I appreciated that from Miss Marvel, but I felt like it was kind of heavy, and it kind of overshadowed the storytelling that didn't happen in Echo, and that's why I think Echo is better. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that the indigenous, storyline of heritage that's in it, and I don't want to spoil it, right? I felt like that was good, but they didn't really stick the landing with Echo the way they could have,
well.
right?
I
They
haven't
could have
seen the
really
last
stuck the
episode.
landing at
I
that.
don't know.
I'm
I
not gonna
haven't
spoil
seen it.
it.
I haven't seen the
I'm
last
not gonna
season, but
spoil it.
I will say,
Let me help your expectations.
but
It's not bad, but they didn't stick the landing, and they were doing really good. And they really jumped off to a really good start. That first episode was like a doozy.
uh,
Like whoa,
one of the
whoa,
reasons
we're
why
moving
people are
real fast, aren't we?
one of the reasons why people are liking it is because they're going back to the Daredevil Punisher of kind of violent because they don't hold back. There's some it's pretty
Yeah, but
bloody.
it's not really that good though. Like you know what I mean? Like it's like for an MA, like it's there, but it's not like Daredevil was. Daredevil was violent, yo.
But
Daredevil was like brutal.
Daredevil's also Netflix,
Exactly, but my point
and
is that for Marvel to have reached into that realm and to try to bring out that darkness, that MA 17 kind of vibes, I don't think that. Listen, I didn't expect them to do like The Boys, right? I didn't expect over gratuitous, gore,
the
but
boys
I
is
just don't think it was as violent. To me, that and Moon Knight, that they're just not very dark and gritty and violent like they're perpetuating. It was okay. It was like they're half 1 foot in, half foot out.
Defenders was horrible. Sorry, Chris,
I
but
didn't watch it. I couldn't
Defenders
even watch
was
it. I didn't even give it a
Defenders
chance.
was a shit show. But I will say, I did. Here you go. So talk is that there's going to be a Mandalorian Grogu motion picture. So
Sure.
they're going to do
If I'm Disney, I'm doing it.
a movie straight Mando and Grogu. It's going to make oodles and oodles of money. Am I going to go watch it? Fuck yeah, I'm going to go watch it. I watch it for Mando more than I do more for the Grogu thing. But there's something about that concept if done right. Once again, we go back to the writing. Give me good writing, people. Just don't give me a shitty ass Mando movie that you could have just put on Disney Plus and made it and combined 4 episodes and we just wait every week and watch it. If you're gonna make a motion picture out of it, oh god, just throw me back to some good old Star Wars, First Hope, whatever Empire Strikes Back. I want some good shit.
Like Attack of the Clones or
I'm
what?
done. I'm
Attack of
done
the
with
Clones.
Pedro Pascal. That's it.
Yeah,
I don't need any
everywhere,
more
huh?
Pedro Pascal. I don't need him no more. And that he's gonna be my Mr. Fantastic is the most disappointing news that I've heard in all news. It's more disappointing.
He's not
It's
going to
more
be Mr.
disappointing.
Fantastic.
Don't do that, man.
And it's more disappointing than not getting a second season of She-Hulk 2. Like I
Oh,
do not want to see him.
I heard that got canceled. I heard yesterday. This morning.
I read it this morning. They got canceled.
It got
It's
canceled.
a budget.
And the first fucking thing that popped in my mind, was that mother effer right there who pointed himself because he's the only guy I know that likes She-Hulk.
I've watched She-Hulk more than any other MCU. Disney Plus show. I've watched it like maybe 4 times. It's ridiculous, and it's because I'm a fan of She-Hulk. You know what I mean? Like people that are fans of She-Hulk aren't mad at She-Hulk. We're like, yo, this is good.
No, I'm a fan of Hulk, but I hate how they fucking did him dirty. Nah, fuck that. They did him dirty, anyways. So I want to go back to Echo real quick. With that being said, they still lead to Daredevil, but also you saw recently John Bernthal is gonna come back as Punisher too.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of good things happening now, or hearing good things going on over there in Disney. Let's see how that goes. I think they're gonna go shoot it with Hulu again because it's not gonna be in Disney Plus for sure. Those kind of
Yeah, I
shows are
heard
not
that.
going to.
I heard that basically everything that happened from the Netflix series is now canon
Yeah.
because of what they've done with Echo, which is awesome, right? Because I think that if I'm being completely transparent, I think that Daredevil was probably the best property to come out of Marvel TV shows, right? I've liked nothing more. I've never been gripped more by anything else. I'm a She-Hulk fan, so I'm obviously going to be biased towards She-Hulk. But before, it was very much so. I thought that WandaVision was the best thing they released. Right, I really loved WandaVision, and when everyone was crying, they didn't
I
know what
liked
was
it.
going on with WandaVision. I
I
thought it
liked
was like amazing.
Yeah.
The the love letter they did to television. When they did that. But man, Daredevil is the bar for me when it comes to serialized Marvel properties done in a TV format.
So I think you know how people are like She-Hulk doesn't like. I don't think she needs a season, but I think she can be a good side character
She's
in
a good
movies.
cameo. I'm okay
Fuck
with her
that!
placing
I
as a
want a
cameo.
season two. I'll
Anyways, with that guy gone, I'm not taking care of that bullshit no more.
That's good stuff.
Where is it ever occurred that we
But
don't give
you know what though? Bottom line, we're looking for and we're hoping to get
like,
some good stuff coming from yes, Pedro Pascal is rumored. I don't think
but
he's
that's a
gonna
big
be
rumor. That's a far fetched rumor, though.
it's not he's not gonna be Mr. Fantastic. And the other thing is too, the only way Fantastic Four is going to work if they bring in, and it has to be
John Yang, what's up, buddy?
Silver Surfer and Doom. That's
He's
those
out.
two are the only. It's the nucleus of Fantastic Four that it's gonna work, and not only Doom, just Doom as a character, but it's gonna be a good Doom, right? You gotta like the actor. You gotta.
Yeah.
I don't mind them bringing in an unknown. I don't give a fuck as long as
What's up, John?
someone you hate. Like hey, look at that, John. What's up, this guy?
Correct, Russell. Correct.
It's we just need something like that. And God, I'm just praying, being the DC fan that I am, that please, sweet baby Moses, that they bring a good DC movie. And from what I'm hearing, it's Superman Legacy or whatever.
Keep up the good work, John. You're doing
Yeah.
amazing, brother. You're doing like
Hey John,
the
I'll
biggest
I'll,
teaser in the
I'll see
game.
you in Florida. I'll see you in Florida, John. I'll swing by
Good luck.
your
Good luck, John. But
Yeah.
quick
Caesar.
take.
Sorry, go ahead.
Quick hot take. I thought Loki ending sucked.
Really?
I did.
Why?
The way the
Yeah, I
ended him
thought it
off.
was a
great.
cop out.
Honestly,
man.
that ending was.
How do you want to
crap.
see it end? How did you want to see it end?
I
With
thought
tacos.
No, oh man, that would have been awesome. But they had a character there with Kang, right? They did nothing with that character, pretty much.
Because
At
they were
first-
building up to the guy, and that obviously he got canceled. So bye bye.
All he did was hurt that chick's finger. That's all he did, and then the girl fucking was toxic as fuck. But whatever. But I think low key the ending was crap, and now we'll see how that goes. I gave that show a positive 9 all the way to the last episode.
That's fucked up, bro. I thought that was actually pretty fucking good,
It was.
bro.
I thought it was cool,
no.
but I thought it was it was a really safe ending. I
Yeah.
felt like
Loki
I felt like
gave
it was
me
kind of like
goosebumps.
how Ant-Man ended. It was like safe. Like I prefer to see them go all the way in. They do this thing in Marvel where they're like half-heartedly about what they're trying to accomplish. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
take remember when the original director was there for Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, was the guy that did The Conjuring, and it was supposed to be a horror film this time around, and then they got what is his name? I can't stand him. Sam Raimi to do it, and it's like
dude.
this half-hearted horror film now, where it just has these elements that are kind of campy and
That's
hokey.
true.
Like they should just lean into it and let these directors do what the fuck they want to do, man, and stay out of it. Because we
James
would
Wan.
get some really great films if they'd allow it.
No, you know what the thing is too is that I will say about Loki. I got goosebumps on one of the scenes in Loki when he's going through the on the bridge and his clothes are ripping off and exposing the. I got
Colliding.
goosebumps. The way the music, the score, the
This
way
music
it was done. I was
music was
getting
awesome.
like, oh, that just looked. It grabbed me. I enjoyed Loki. I like that character. Everyone likes that character. Everyone likes.
He's
that
so young.
actor. You know, I just think that eventually they're gonna just stop. Because
Come on,
sometimes when you do
was
too
the
much of a
person.
character, you get kind of burnout, right? It's like, oh, another Loki season 3. Now what? Well, they're done with Loki. They're not doing any more Lokis, in which they should. He ended it the way he ended it. Done. Let's start with something new. Give me Young Avengers. Give me, give me
What did you guys
Hawkeye.
think about What If?
Give you Echo.
I'll give you Echo.
I haven't
Look,
seen What If yet. The first one loved. I loved the
I
first.
saw the
season.
first 2 episodes. I haven't had time, honestly, because of work.
I loved it. I loved
People are
What
not
If. I loved season 2 better than season 1.
Man,
I
Bro,
felt
that's
like
cat,
season
bro.
1.
That's cat, bro.
man, you're
Whatever, man.
what did you eat?
Season 1 was mid to me. Season
What
2,
did
I
you
was like,
eat?
oh, they're in their bag now.
Man,
Bro,
before you jumped on, you were eating noodles. What the fuck was in that stuff?
The-
Because She-Hulk, Marvels,
Loki has
second
been
What
Prime.
If?
Okay, that's good.
Damn.
So
I didn't
that's a
say
bad
Marvels was the best thing. I just said I didn't hate it. I liked it. It was fun.
Young Avengers, dude. Man, sometimes okay. I want you to hear your take on this, and if I hear anything but it sucked, then I'm kicking you off the show.
Who, me?
So, yes, you, Matt. So
Okay, okay. All right.
Thor, Love and Thunder. What are your thoughts on that fucking movie?
Super mid, like way mid.
Okay,
Like
you've been redeemed.
to me, yeah,
Okay.
no. But I will say this: if I don't even know that I could say it's better than the Dark World because they're both pretty fucking bad, man. I hated both of them.
Dark World was not that great.
It was. I wanted to say Dark World was a 6, and then Love and Thunder was like a 4, pretty much.
To me, the best one was
Oh
Ragnarok.
no, man! Dark
Ragnarok
World was
to me is
way
like-
bad.
Ragnarok
Complete
to me is top
trash.
5. Ragnarok
yeah.
to me
Oh,
is
yeah.
one of the top 5.
Well, let me correct that. I didn't like it. I won't say that it was trash, and I won't say that it was bad. That's incorrect. I'll say I didn't like it as much as I liked other ones because listen, I'm not making those kind of films, right? You know what I mean? I'm not a filmmaker that's making. I'm not on the VFX team. I'm not. I'm not going to discredit those people and the work they did, right? I will say that it just didn't. I didn't rock with it. It was not a good time for me. I felt like it was a reach. I felt like Taika Waititi blew his load on Ragnarok, which was great, and he tried to come back for it at round 2, and he couldn't make it. He couldn't stick the landing. That's what I feel.
Look, you interrupted my taco right now because of that bullshit you just said. I'm 100% gonna tell fuck you to what you know what you saw what he said, right? He did it for a
No.
paycheck. He did it for a paycheck. He wasn't into this fucking movie. Okay, I understand. Okay, he's feeding his family, but he just
No, the first
trashed
one or the second one?
the second one.
Love and Thunder?
Yeah,
The Love and Thunder? Yeah, it feels like it. It
No,
feels
it's
like he
like-
just did it for a check, like that he wasn't really trying to do anything with it.
Too much
that's why
yuck yucks. Too much yuck yuck, if you ask me. Too much of the
a lot
hot
of these directors just hear like pinpoints of certain things. A lot of these writers just read certain things about this certain character and then go with it, right? A lot of these people are not fans of the comics, right? They know as much about comics as much as Caesar reads. So, what do you expect?
That's pretty accurate. I'm right.
I mean, I'm not trying to shit on Caesar, right? But
no, it's perfectly
you know-
fine. Yeah, I don't read. I'm the illiterate of the fucking group. But the thing is that it's true that Taika Waititi, who I love in his other works, I love him. And if you don't watch Reservation Dogs on
Reservation Dogs is a brilliant
Dogs,
show.
Taika Waititi, it's about the reservation in Oklahoma. Love the show.
Right, indigenous people in Oklahoma. It's a brilliant show.
Fantastic. I also like what you do in the shadows. His hands are involved in that. But for some reason, when he did this Love and Thunder, right away, it almost screamed more comedy than anything else. And not just comedy, it was shoved comedy in your face, right? The zapping of his clothes being naked, Zeus talking the way he talked. And I just, wow. And
it felt like he was taking a piss. It felt like he was taking a piss on the whole lore
on the whole movie. And I wouldn't be surprised.
Right? Like Ragnarok felt like stylized. Like it was like a stylized approach. Yeah. Right? But it felt like he was just really taking a piss at Marvel for this one.
So I'm not gonna lie though, I was a little hurt from Ragnarok because I didn't see Beta Ray Bill, right? But I was like, all right, it was still a good movie.
Hey, you saw his bust. You saw the statue.
Yeah, you saw the bust, right? And all those Thor 337s were like going up here and then went down after the movie. Whatever, but I forgave him. Like, it's fine. It was still a good movie. He's gonna go a different direction. That we didn't get World War Hawk, obviously neither. Even though they're over there, you met all the characters from World War Hawk. Um, I was kind of disappointed. Obviously, I was, but I was okay.
Everyone was.
Everyone was, and
Even
I was
Christian
okay.
Bale. Christian Bale was the best thing of
They
Love and
ruined the
Thunder.
character Gore. Like,
I
damn.
understand that, but the thing is that the dude tried his best for not wearing any kind of makeup, like massive
Oh yeah,
gore
yeah, yeah,
makeup
yeah.
or CGI
100%.
or that stuff. The dude tried. You could tell he put his A game in, like he does in all his roles. But even Christian Bale could not fix Ragnarok. I mean, I'm sorry, I was loving
It was
Blender.
a poor. The story for me just wasn't. It didn't feel like a good story, right? It didn't feel like something that I connected with. The kids at the end felt like a cop out. It felt like it's a good idea. Let's just do this at the end. It felt like a hodgepodge of ideas coming together that wasn't like someone's baby, right? They really nurtured and tried to make
Yeah,
a
it's like a
thing.
Nickelodeon show, for me. It was just not a.
Right.
It was not good, but hey, listen, we got the future coming up with some new movies. Hopefully, we got Fantastic Four. Hopefully, we'll
Hold
see a
on.
new Werewolf by Night. I keep hearing Ghost Rider is going to make an appearance, and don't forget, everybody, Daredevil 3 trailer is going to be dropping during the Super Bowl. So if you're not into football,
Deadpool 3.
Deadpool 3.
Yeah,
What
I
did
was
I
gonna
say?
say this guy said
Deadpool 3.
Deadpool 3.
What did I say?
You said
Daredevil.
You
bro.
said Daredevil 3.
Get
All
this
right.
guy out of here.
Fuck
Get
you,
He
this
fuck
guy out.
you.
he already thinking about Born Again.
So,
Oh, but
no,
they're redoing that whole thing.
before that, Madam Web is supposed to come out before that. Everybody's shitting
Good
on
night,
that one.
everybody. Thanks for having me.
You're looking forward to it, aren't you? You're in.
No.
No.
Negative.
Oh, like,
Negative.
wow.
No.
This fool,
Wow.
he's gonna go like, Madam Web. It's close up there with She-Hulk, Marvel, and Madam Web.
Listen, I'm known for unpopular opinions, but I'm not Cap. Like, I'm not finna
I like
bullshit.
that.
Like, yo,
Okay,
Sony,
that's
Sony
Cap.
just does not get it. They just can't get it. Listen, Craven, Venom, Madam
Oh,
Web, like
Craven.
it's
Don't
not
invite
working.
me.
None of them are working.
I will say, I might go watch Craven just
I have a
out
serious
of pure
question.
curiosity
Ask
of
questions,
what
please.
that's gonna
Ask
be
me.
like. That's the only reason why I might go see Craven.
Why is Sony rocking the Spider-Verse movies and they can't get the live action movies right?
Dude, right? Right. You know what?
Why is
There's
that?
the only thing worse than a Marvel fan right now, because you're seeing everything being destroyed in your eyes. Not everything, a lot of things, right? A lot of things. The only thing worse than a Marvel fan or DC fan is a Cowboys fan. Because we get hurt every year and we know it's gonna happen.
Hey, I'm
We
a fucking I'm a Washington Commander fan since they were the Redskins, so I don't even care at this point.
I didn't even know you watched football. That's kind of
I don't, because I'm a Washington Commanders fan. So bottom line,
movies hit.
They
what
do
doesn't
hit
seem
though.
to- well-
Is the writing like if they don't force, like, to me, if they don't force like these jokes against men and this and that, I like it. I honestly like the Black Widow in all the movies. When she had her solo movie and they pushed Taskmaster and it wasn't him, it was the sister. That kind of blew it for me.
You're kind of reaching there, bro. I mean, I don't know, man.
What do you mean? Okay, all
Like-
right.
I didn't mind Black Widow. I didn't mind Black Widow.
I thought it was
I liked it. It's fine. I liked it. What do we expect from comic book movies? Was it better than the Marvels?
The same way I didn't. The same way.
Yeah, I think it was better than the Marvels because I love Yelena Belova.
I
Thank
didn't
you,
mind.
Jason.
I didn't mind. I did. I'm going to say this right now. People already know this who watch the show. I didn't mind Morbius. I didn't mind it.
Get the fuck out.
Not one of the best, but Morbius was okay. He looked kind of cool. He looked kind of Morbius. I like the Echo thing. It's unpopular. Like, I get shitted on because I like Man of Steel. I like Man of Steel. I've seen Man of Steel quite a few times. But
Man of Steel is great.
I like Man of Steel. But you know what?
I love Man of Steel.
I think it's pretty
Well,
good.
there was this thing where people were saying, well, Superman doesn't kill people, and he snapped his neck. And I'm like, yes, because he was about to kill a family of 4 with his laser beams, and if he didn't
look what people use as like criteria for judging a whole film.
It
didn't stick exactly to this person's vision because it's someone else's vision, so it's got to be trash.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, actually, I don't think that Superman would have ever snapped someone's neck like that. Like, yeah, come on, man. This is another artist's interpretation of something that someone else said, hey, I'm going to give you a bunch of money to do it. Yo, man, Zack Snyder showed his ass in his films. Like, I loved every one of his films, the director cuts.
That's right.
The director.
It's when you introduce anything else, it was kind of like, whatever, man.
I'm a Zack Snyder fan. As a matter of fact, I'm biased. I love 300. I love
As you
Sucker
should
Punch.
be.
Sucker Punch 300.
Sucker Punch was mid.
I like the Zack Snyder director's cut of JLA. So
yeah, the Snyder cut was awesome. The Snyder cut of
Watchmen
Batman vs Superman was even good.
Watchmen is one of my top 5 movies. So
wow,
yeah, I love me Watchmen. I love
top 5.
V for Vendetta is one of my top 5 as well.
Okay, so I think people who love
so there's something like that, but they're like, hi, he doesn't kill people. It's like, what do you mean he doesn't kill? I mean, he was going to kill a family of 4. You'd rather have him kill the family of 4. The thing is, Zod would have killed the family because he knows that would hurt Superman more than anything. Right, because he cares for these humans, so he had to snap his neck. He's all about the peace. No,
you can't say that Superman doesn't do something when the company that owns Superman gave the green light for him to do it. He now does that. Warner was like, "Yep, he does it." DC was like, "Yep, he did it. He's doing it." That's what he does now. You know what I mean? Like, you can't. Like, that is the reality of the situation. Now, the truth of your reality and what you believe to be a thing in your own like perspective and existence is you. What you think Superman would do or what you think Superman won't do that's personal to you. But Superman just did that, fam. So it is what it is. This ain't a fan film, right? This ain't somebody's This is them saying, hey, this is the new Superman film and this is how Superman was. And I think they did a great job at it.
So he gets a lot of shit because of the whole Batman Superman thing, which the only good part about Batman Superman was Wonder Woman's arrival. That was pretty. Did
you see the director's cut
of the Batman Superman? No, actually, I
Batman versus Superman. Now stop right there. Go watch the director's cut. Batman versus Superman.
All right,
Until
guys,
I saw the director's cut.
The podcast is over. We're gonna go watch that first. No, I'm kind of curious now.
It's brilliant. It made so much of a difference on HBO Max.
Is it
Batman? Did I watch
Yes. The director's cut of Batman versus Superman was good.
I already see that. Just kidding.
It changed my mind about the Snyder verse. It was like, oh, we got something that's viable here for real. And I think the things that people complained about story-wise and pacing-wise from, obviously what happened with, the Justice League and, condolences to him for losing a child, knowing that sucks across the board, right? But, you know what I mean? Like, for him, what he was able to, when they gave him, an open purse, a blank check to finish off Justice League and what he did in the Snyder Cut, I was like, yo, why are they walking away from this? This is redeemable.
No, yeah, I will say what Brandon says. When I first saw Doomsday, he did look like Lord of the Rings. He did look like Lord of the Rings cave troll. I was like, why does that look so familiar? Right. He looked nothing like the Doomsday that we saw, right? With the blades and the hair and whatever the hell he was. I get it. Zach might have taken a shit there, but I might have to.
What the fuck? His shit crap. I don't know. I wasn't me because he can do his shit. But I think a lot of people hate Zack Snyder because you cancel yourself. But they compare him to Michael Bay a lot, and I see why.
He's very visually heavy.
Yeah,
he's very visual heavy.
Monochromatic colors, a lot of slow-mo.
Very, very visual heavy. But he's a good storyteller. You can feel the emotion in how he tells a story.
300 is one of my top 5. 300 is when I. Do you guys all remember? Now let's go back. Do you guys all remember? Reminisce. Yeah. The very first time you're watching TV and you see a commercial come up for 300. The very first time, and This Is Sparta, where he kicks him in the hole in slow motion, you're going. My mind got blown. I had to watch it right away because I've never seen something like that. I like Sin City. Sin City is one of my top movies as well. The
Sin
first
City
one,
is badass.
the first one, not the second. The second one we're not going to talk about. But
Fair.
something about the visual of that being kicked into a hole in slow motion that just like it brought this inner primal thing in everybody. I'm like, yeah, I fucking kicked. I don't never seen the movie, don't know what it is. I just saw a trailer, but he fucking kicked that guy right in the hole.
I'll agree with Chris here. Chris says Zack Snyder is a good cinematographer, but not a good storyteller. I would say that he's a better cinematographer than he is a storyteller. I don't think he's a bad storyteller because I've enjoyed some of the stories he's told, but it's not like they were the greatest movies to me. I just enjoyed the stories that he's told, right? But they're not as good as he is visually. Visually, what he does visually, oh my God, it's just brilliant.
That's funny. Computer wallpaper. Wow. That's a good thing.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. That's a good catch.
Yeah. So look at that. So it's 8:51 my time. It's probably 10:51 everywhere else. We're starting to wind down here. This is the thing. We talk and we get into rants and we can talk and talk and talk. There's probably some subjects we didn't even talk about. We didn't bring up. But see, the next week, that's what we could bring up next week. We don't know who we're going to be next week, but here he goes right here.
Rumor has it. Yeah.
Oh, and that's the trailer, right? Oh, that's just a thing, yeah.
And if those philosophers and boy lovers found that kind of nerve, then
We must be diplomatic.
and of course Spartans have their reputation to consider.
I'm going to have to go watch this
Choose
again.
your next words carefully, Leonidas. They may be your last.
That overdub,
as
though.
king.
Oh, with his voice?
Yeah. It's perfect, though. This is
Yeah, it
iconic.
worked.
Nothing short of iconic.
What I like about this is that he looks at his wife, and she's the one that's saying, yeah, that's cool. Do what you got to do.
She said, you know what this is. Ego is not your amigo.
Madman. You're a madman.
Air and water. But you'll find plenty of both down there.
No man. Persian or Greek, no man threatens a messenger.
You bring the crowns and heads of conquered kings to my city steps. You insult my queen. You threaten my people with slavery and death. Oh, I've chosen my words carefully, Persian. Perhaps you should have done the same.
This is blasphemy. This is madness.
He's like, oh, you finally came to your senses, right? Here it
Yeah.
is.
The look over, the glance.
She's like, yeah, you know what to do.
Madness. This is Sparta!
Oh, man.
Oh,
That still
Iconic.
gives me goosebumps.
Nothing
man.
short of iconic.
That still gives me the goosebumps. No joke.
Oh,
Yeah,
hell
man.
yeah.
That's some
Yeah,
good
that's
shit.
how you know. I thought 300 was a great story.
It was very
I mean,
good,
someone said it here because it looks so much like the book.
Reference six.
Mm.
And Xerxes, they made him 10 feet tall, you know.
Yeah,
and this
that was
Visuals, man.
ominous,
Visuals.
you know.
Yeah.
Anyways, so this is about it.
Damn.
Yeah, Joe?
I forgot. They're gonna have a question about Rebel Boom, but that's gonna be another topic for another day.
Next week. I haven't even seen it.
You haven't seen it yet?
No.
You're not missing. You're not missing too
Yeah,
much.
That's what I
it's
keep
not.
hearing. I hear people saying it's
the
such a
trailer
good
is
one,
awesome.
and then other people are like,
It's like the
The
Marvel.
trailer was-
back in the
yeah.
day. Sorry, I had to throw that one out there, bro.
what'd you say, David?
I said it's just like the Marvel.
Said it's like the Marvels.
The storytelling. I expected more, bro. Oh, with that being said, yeah, it's almost time to shut down. We only had 2 topics to talk about, pretty much. And we're by fucking fast. We need to get these guys to get off again. We need to get Chris on here, another podcaster from locally. So we'll set that up in the future. Before anything, Yeah, that's true, Brandon. Before that go, we'll always let y'all go ahead and promote. David, we'll start with you, then with Matt, Caesar, and I end it off usually. So go ahead, David.
So again, guys, man, you got me on the spot, bro. I don't even have anything ready.
Come on,
So,
man. You don't need to. Just out of your soul, bro.
man, bro, I didn't get to drop a link. So, basically, guys, appreciate being on the show. Thank you, Dale. Thank you, Cesar. Nice to meet you, Matt. So, basically, guys, Adam Collections, we're here. I didn't get to announce this. This will be the first preview, but we're looking to do a local convention on August, doing it a little bit differently. So my concept is to give back to the community. So this will be the first time I'm going to announce it, but I'm trying to partner with some voice actor talent to take them to the schools to kind of focus on the fine arts, both with acting and business and so forth. So that's something that I'm kind of in the works with right now. And then also make sure you guys follow my whatnot and so forth. But again, guys, I appreciate everything. And of course, guys, stay local. If you guys are in the Valley, I know a lot of the people that were on my page jumped on. Just make sure you guys check out Ultra Gaming Expo. I do have a giveaway going on, guys. So I do ship. We do have the voice actor coming to Ultra Gaming Expo. So like, share, do all that good stuff on the link that I had posted there. And you guys will be entered free. If you want me to ship, I'll ship. I don't care. You want me to get it signed? I know a guy that knows a guy that can get it signed. So forth. But besides that, I appreciate you guys having me on.
Sweet.
Hey, you're the first
wait.
person.
And I podcast tomorrow 8 o'clock. Just every Friday 8 p.m. guys. Just FYI.
On what?
On my Facebook. Then I posted on YouTube and what's that other thing? Spotify, right? We use that stuff.
Everybody has a podcast now.
With my 43 followers on Instagram.
Oh yeah, slowly increasing.
I was insulted earlier, but it's fine. I'm just fucking with you.
By
It's 53
so,
right now. Just FYI.
before I go on
It's
with
53
Matt,
right now. Just
Oh,
David,
see?
you're
Yeah.
the first person that said Cesar on the
Yeah.
show, bro.
Yes.
So that's where you know he's Hispanic.
Yeah.
Cesar Chavez, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, so listen, guys, I just want to say thank you for having me on. It's been a great time, great hanging out with you guys. Hope it's not the last time. I know I can get long-winded and talk a lot, so I appreciate you guys giving me a platform to get my crazy, zany, unpopular opinions out. Listen, for anybody who wants to see more of Revenge of the Nerd, check us out on YouTube. We're at Revenge of the Nerd on YouTube. I post videos. I try to do it weekly, but because my videos have so much to them, sometimes it takes a little longer. But I try to do reels weekly too. So yeah, please check us out. You can follow me on Instagram, Revenge of the Nerd Official, and then I'm also on Facebook under Matthew Lucas. It's been great. David, great meeting you today. Definitely going to check out your podcast tomorrow. Caesar and Del, thanks for having me. It's been awesome. Great conversation. Awesome points brought up. I just love being a part of this community. I'm relatively new to it, right? Only a couple years. And I took a couple years off to kind of like focus on work, but I'm back at it full time now. I'm happy to be here and looking forward to it.
Friday podcast, exactly.
I was corrected.
All right. You know where to find me here every week on the Comic Menu, 9:15 p.m. Eastern. Catch me on Instagram with the Real Draculas Wolf. And once again, if you guys want any of my voiceovers for your promo reel or a book sale, whatever, hit me up and you'll get my voiceover. Other than that, you guys have been fantastic. David, Matt, thank you so much for jumping on. This is what we're sticking to the plan. You guys are on our second show of the year, and Dale and I said we're going to switch things up this year and make it more of this geeking out with bringing in different guests in, and we want artists to come in and they don't have to draw. They could just be part of the talking group, man. Just geek out with just us because why not, right? It's like sitting in someone's living room and just chilling with your buddies and everything else.
We had four in the comment section today.
Yeah. Yeah,
we had Aaron, John, William, and John Bruckman.
Yeah. Artists, they come out of the woodwork. So John Jang, can't wait to see him in Florida. I'll see William in Florida. I'll be seeing Aaron in Florida. Finally meet some of these guys. So thanks, guys. I appreciate you guys coming in.
That's the way I do my show. I know, bro. I've been there. I've seen it. I get you on soon. With that being said, guys, we're about 100 followers away from hitting 27K.
Damn, 100?
We're 100
I
away
can only imagine.
from 27K. So if you can, push it out, like it, share it, please appreciate it. We just want to continue growing. We want to be as good as David and his 53 followers on the IG.
Yeah.
Yeah, every Wednesday we are going to be doing something different. Today, which is like I wasn't prepared as much other than what we watched. Now I gotta go rewatch the fucking director films because of fucking Matt.
Yeah.
It's true.
I need
Very
to
true.
finish watching the What If. I need to finish watching Echo so I can get a real in depth opinion. The Avengers podcast. What's up, Chris? Oh yeah, Chris. Oh, your Sundays. I forgot. You did switch it to Sundays, and then
Sundays
David
at
took your spot.
Oh,
Sundays at 8
I
o'clock.
got you, bro. Put me on spot.
We can do a collab. You want to jump on Sundays with us? Who? Us four? I think I'm off. I should be able to done. Hit me up again. It's cool to have local people here. There's supposed to be like a local podcasting going on. It never really happened. I don't know. It was Mark? He was here earlier. All of you. Hey, I'm down. I know Matt is down. It's a
Always.
good. Honestly, those guys are a little bit smarter than we are. I mean, a lot smarter than you are when it comes to this stuff. But I'm prettier, so there's that. Guys, so like we do every Wednesday, 8 o'clock, we will have more events. We're gonna have hopefully another sketch off this year, which we had like 20 artists last time. We should have another 24 this year.
Mhm.
We don't know what we're gonna donate to this time. We've donated a lot already. Last year we had like 5 events and gave locally. We gave to Winning Warriors, stuff like that. So we'll continue doing that. These topics are fun. It's it gives me a load off. I'm literally fucking chilling. I'm eating a fucking taco, right? And a Jaritos right here.
Man,
Like this,
that dude's
I'm not-
fucking Mexican as
Matt over here wants to be professional. Like, nah, he's not here. We got canceled on YouTube already once. I'm not trying to happen again, but we're there. Chris is wild. You haven't got canceled like we have, Chris. So calm down. But with that being said, guys, thank you very much for being here. Thank you, David. Thank you, Matt. It's been fun. It was great. We had a great conversation. Oh, that's right. 956 in the house, pretty much. Me and David are from the 956. We're happy. Reason I want to finish seeing Echo because we do have a talent from here locally. So 100%, I love that. I gotta present the locals and our friends. So with that being said, guys, see you next Wednesday. Sayonara.
Ah.